Sorry, I'm going to have to say all of that again, but I'll be brief. So I'm excited because we have two of my participants here, former participants of my LinkedIn Visibility program here today. The first person is Maureen. Maureen has over 25 years of experience in working in Nigeria's corporate sector. She was worked through a multiplicity of sectors. In fact, if I start calling all of them, we'll be here today. Let's just put it like this. She has worked, right? She was a very active participant on the course. She joined in April last year. Obviously the course lasts for 3 months. So she was there for 3 months and she was such an active and helpful participant on the group. The next person that I have with me is Oremeyi Akah. Oremeyi has a lovely smile. I'll never forget when we did our initial call to see if we were both a right fit for each other. You know, she was like, Gloria, I don't even know. I think she said she saw me in her dream, that she was sleeping. Go to wake her up, go and register for the course. And she saw me in her dream. And I remember her smile. She's just like, I don't even know why I did this call. I shall say, let me meet you, you know? So immediately, you know, we bonded like that and she joined the program and she was just spitting fire, content. Her content, she would just do one content like this. How many likes, thousands of views, everyone was like, Even she herself, she was surprised, you know, and she was in the last cohort. So both of them were actually in different cohorts. Am I correct? Maureen, you were in April, Oremeyi was in December. No, when were you?
September, the one that started in September. Yes.
Exactly. Anyway, so today is not about me. Today is about these two amazing ladies who are here on advice. Me that I'm teaching. I've not even entered advisory council. Please, how do I get on board? Hey, me that I'm teaching people. Okay. All right. Okay. On a more serious note, so I just want them to both introduce themselves. I know I had sent kind of like a short synopsis of both their bios in the emails I sent out, but I want to give both of them an opportunity. So we'll start with Maureen. Maureen, please just tell us a bit about yourself.
Thank you very much, Dr. Glory, for that wonderful introduction to the two of us. Where to start from? Indeed, I've got more than 25 years of experience, both at the operational level and in the C-suite across, indeed, I like to put it to Glory, multiplicity of sectors. And so I've worked in financial services, I've worked in automobiles as a vehicle franchisee manager. I was the last managing director of Suzuki in vehicles in Nigeria before the CFO company franchise. I've worked in marine services, oil and gas. I've worked in personnel housing. I've worked again where, so I don't even know. Again, from operations up the way up to the C-suite. What else? So aside from all that work, during that time, I've built businesses from a desk to a fully fledged business unit. I've rebuilt businesses that were about to from loss-making to profit or good enough to sell. Basically that, I think I remember saying this in one of Glory's sessions, that I've done more rebuilding than even building from scratch. So, and this only came out when we were doing the identifying your skills and values. So aside from all that work, I think this session is really about your professional life. I also do a lot. I discovered that I do a lot extracurricular activities in volunteering. I work especially for women and youth, improving literacy levels, setting up businesses, and empowering women. I do a lot of work there. Again, I didn't know that I did that much until I think I attended both Glory's class and one other class that I did on grooming women for the board. Just there to allow my colleague, Oremeyi, to introduce herself as well.
Amazing. I told you that, guys, if she starts talking now, Maureen, when you were talking, when you were saying that you were the last MD for Suzuki, or I saw Oremeyi's face, I remember that, Oremeyi's eyes open.
Well, Maureen, I was just typing an intro to you on LinkedIn. I was like, this is a great place to be. So I want to say good evening, everyone. Thank you, Glory, for the opportunity, and nice to meet all of you. And Maureen, is so good to meet you. Well done. I mean, you're one of the people that keep us going and inspire us to keep going. So by background, I don't have a multiplicity of industry. So I'm an engineer by background. I started my career from NYSC in the fintech space. I was privileged to have been one of the foundation staff of InterSwitch. So I joined InterSwitch straight out of school in 2002, and I'm still there today. And this year is 20 years. Oh my God. So that's it. So I've done several things in engineering, implementation engineering, software engineering. Again, like in my career, I was honored. I was excited to have been on the team that took the first online real-time ATM live in 2003, when we didn't even know how to arrange cash in an ATM. It was like rocket science, because there was no reference. It was just, okay, let's try the manual, you know. So I mean, that was exciting. So working in the e-payment and fintech space, from growing it all the way, I became the head of operations at a point about 2008, and then I left my work for a while, a year. I went to do an MBA in the UK, and I came back to my job, and then I became I was country manager for Verve. For those of you that know, it's one of the card brands out there, and we're really proud of Verve because it was the first African card brand that sought to challenge international brands, you know. So I was country manager, and we're looking at how to get Verve accepted in other African countries. And so I did that for a number of years, and I became head of operations again, this time a more consolidated and wider operations group that had a call center, and I did that for another 4 years. And then 2 years ago, I became responsible for customer experience. So right now, I'm Chief Customer Experience Officer at InterSwitch, responsible for customer experience and key accounts. So that's my career. Outside work, I volunteer with 2 NGOs specifically, She Can and Africans Build Africa, looking at opportunities in Africa to help, you know, just develop. I'm also a pastor's wife, so we pastor a parish of Redeem, so I'm quite busy on that. And
I didn't know that.
I have 3 lovely sons, and I'm married to my best friend. So that's my story.
Amazing, amazing. Look, you know, even though I've heard you guys meanwhile, both of you, your introductions have vastly improved from the first time. You are introducing yourselves now. Like,
we cannot fall our teacher's hand.
I'm telling you, like, I want to pinch myself. I'm like, at these my women, at these my ladies, I'm so proud. My face is beaming. Anyway, we'll come back there. So having the fact that both of you guys are so accomplished, you have done things, you have led companies, rebuilt companies, all of that. Why did you take the course? Because I mean, you're established women in your own rights. What made you take the course? Maureen, I'll come to you first.
Well, I had been searching for direction, a good direction in discovering and building visibility for myself. I wanted more out of my career. I wanted to go to higher places in my career. And so I started the search. It didn't start with visibility. It started with grooming myself for more board roles. And I wanted to be on a board, and I wanted to stay on board. And so in my search for that, I got to know that having a brand that is unique to you is critical. And so as soon as I finished that program, I quickly enrolled. In fact, before I finished, I reached out to Dr. Glory to enroll in the brand and visibility course. So it was to have a brand, to know what your brand is, to be on that journey. I hope that answers the question.
Yes, it does. It does. I remember there was also somebody in your cohort as well, Maureen, who she was filling out a, sorry, they're just taking light at mine. That's why my screen went dark, but my lights will come back soon. I hope everybody can still hear me. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah, so the somebody in the course, she joined, she was applying for a board role, and they asked for her LinkedIn profile handle, and she left the form and came to pay for the course because she was like, look, there's no way she can share this LinkedIn profile handle for any board opportunity, you know? So amazing. Thanks, Maureen. Thanks, Maureen. Oremeyi, what about you?
Okay, so for me, I just, there's this scripture that says, God does not light a candle and put under a bushel. So I kind of knew I needed to encourage more people, inspire more people. I knew I had things to share. So I used to give myself targets. I said, I'll write an article, then I won't write. So I started saying, am I lazy? Maybe I have a problem. So the next thing, I came across I've been seeing your profile, and I came across your the course. I got on your mailing list at a point. Anytime I see it, I'll say, it's not a write article. I'll be writing myself. I'm not paying these people. I will quit. So seriously. So that day your mail came, normally I would ignore. I couldn't ignore it. I just kept saying, Oremeyi, this may be what you need to inspire you. Why not invest, And I started saying, if you wanted to buy handbag, will you not buy? Invest in yourself. So I kept saying, this is my mind. I'm not paying. I went to bed. I will wake up in the morning. I will see Glory's email as if the mail was haunting me. What do I have to lose? So I went, then you did this 10 days where you interviewed Dr. Anino, you interviewed them, some people, and they were talking of what they got.
Adesore and all that.
It was Adese's own and Dr. Anino's own, those two. I said, Oremeyi, they are calling your name, go there. This is a good association. So bottom line is, I was at a place where I knew I wanted to give more. And give more is talk, share your story, encourage people, but there must be an approach, a strategy. As Glory will say, what is your networking strategy? There must be a strategy, so that was it. And I mean, beyond giving more, I also knew that I could do more, be more announced. And you always tell us, why do you want to step back? Why do you want to say, I don't want to boast? Meanwhile, people that may not even have value are boasting. So why hide the light? So that was it for me. And I can tell you, I had a great time networking, learning, being disciplined by the assignments, and I can see the results.
Oh, the amazing assignments, the amazing assignments. Okay, so you both of you were in a place where you're like, okay, I need to build my personal brand. I certainly have more to give. I need that structure. I need that strategy. When you now join the course, what was your experience? Oremeyi, I'll come to you first.
Okay, so my experience was, honestly, I just thought it would be a pushover, on one hand, and maybe you just be giving us some tips, we say yes, yes, but Glory is not like that. So Glory holds you accountable. So I loved that. So one, there was the accountability, but at the same time, while there's accountability, there's a lot of encouragement. So even though there's assignment and, some people will be behind, Glory will still encourage, so that's, and the encouragement is not just do it. You are showing us the value. You are showing us how it helped you. You are giving us your own example. So that for me was it. Number two, having the fact that the class became such an open place where we all felt we were sisters, everybody shares their own challenge and say, to write my article was hard, though, I'm shy, what if? So it's not only me that is like that. So that's it's not only me, being in a circle. The Bible says when one man falls, another will help him. But if you fall when you are alone, who will help you? That's exactly the case. So there were times when other people in the class submit the assignment on the platform, and I'll be encouraged. I'll try. So you to try. And so I would say it was a safe zone. Nobody's afraid to make mistake. There was discipline, but there was encouragement. And those are the things that I would say in some, that was my experience. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing, Oremeyi. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. I love the fact that you mentioned the discipline and the pushover. I remember you were in Mrs. A's class now. Mrs.
Yes.
Mrs. A is one of the other participants. She sent me a message one day. She said, Glory, it's like you think this your course is Lagos Business School. Is that the imagination you have? Because these assignments I don't understand. Okay, Maureen, what about you? What was your experience?
I expected a really good course and outcome because you came very well referred. Okay, I was told about you even before it's registered properly by, I think, someone who's been in your class maybe a few years back. And then my mentor in board training program was actually, I'm going to speak to Glory, you need to join at a certain point in our journey on that board training course. So I knew it was going to be really good and I was ready. In fact, I was eager. If not that the course I was on was a heavy one, I couldn't take on yours and you were not ready yet. I had to wait a little bit shortly after we finished the board mentoring program to join yours. I was ready. So I wasn't fazed by the assignments, even though it was not easy to keep up with them, but there was so much to learn. And I was like a sponge soaking up water. I needed to learn everything you had to give. And I'm very happy I was there. And then about the camaraderie between us in that cohort, it was amazing. Indeed, to borrow Oremeyi's choice of words, it was a safe place to be. I've been in classes with men, generally, all women class for this or that, and it's not always that safe. But that one was really nice, comfortable. We were safe with each other. We were comfortable with each other. We prodded and pushed and pulled each other to, turn up for the courses, learn as much as possible, do the assignments. Even though I didn't write much, it was a struggle to write. Even though I have, a lot of ideas. And, I used to write, years back, I used to write poems a lot and even short dramas, yes. And these days, I still wrote poems a few years back on my own, but these days it's really, really a hassle to write, but it was good. And the learning is beyond what the course tells you. For me, it was more a self-discovery than even teaching you about branding and visibility. Honestly.
Amazing.
That's what I have to say. It is a self-discovery. I think it's a journey every person needs to take. Start it sometime.
I remember a few people have told me that I need to change the title of the course because the title does not accurately explain the depth of learning that happens. And I remember every time Maureen would come for class, she would say, I watched the video, I learned so much, I had to watch it again. You would always say that. So I
usually watch twice or three times to make sure I have, well, that's me anyways.
Yes, you really were a sponge. And I want to speak to the fact that you didn't write that much content, but Maureen, you were an excellent networker. You took your networking strategy.
I knew what I wanted.
You were, in fact, I think you're one of the best networking students that I've ever had on my cohort.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Your networking was excellent, excellent. But we'll come back to that. So let's talk about the biggest takeaways. And guys, if you have any questions for them, please, we have 62 people, amazing. If you have any questions, please send, put it in the chats, put your questions in, you feel free to ask them questions. So let's now come to the biggest takeaway. What was the biggest takeaway, the aha moment you had on the course? Oremeyi, I'll come to you first this time.
Okay, I would say the biggest takeaway is it's inside you, right? There is value in you. And I'll say that from, like you said, I wrote an article. And honestly, when I wrote the article, I said, let me submit. So for Glory, we say I didn't submit. But in my mind, it was the article I would have written and said, who will read this one? I posted it overnight, 21,000 likes. I said, do you know, I tried thinking maybe, that LinkedIn has problems, that there's error. I said, it's not what I wrote. Is it where? I said, no, LinkedIn, they will soon reset the system. 21,000 views, then I can't remember the like, but the likes were significant. And then I brought it up in the class and I said, what I wrote was so basic. And then you said, and someone else said, what is basic to you? Someone else may not know. And so, in other words, that thing we sit on is value. The value is in you. Again, just to refer to the Bible, that woman that said, I don't have anything in my house. All I have is a small jar of oil. But that oil was all she needed. A lot of us sit down on our value. We look down on it. We say, who wants it? Oh, I don't have so many years of experience. When I have, I will come. And the truth is, like anything you don't use, it will never develop. So for me, the biggest takeaway was, use what you have, start where you are. There is value. And I say that not just for me, but I remember Chinwe. I remember FFL in the class. And they were also saying the same, that these are things they've always known. But now that they are putting it together to share, they are seeing how it's helping people, helping them get better, and exposing them to the right networks. So I would say the value is in you. That for me was the biggest takeaway.
Mommy G.O. has spoken. Oh, Maureen, what about you? What was your biggest aha moment, your biggest takeaway?
Well, it was more than one, no. Let me be honest, it was much more than one. Because when you've been doing something for a really long time without consciously and actively sitting back to review it, especially in line with what we're saying, your brand and your visibility, you don't know about a lot of points. Too many points. You know, each time I look at my CV, there's something I've missed out that is vital. Can you imagine that? So I'm thinking, and then I remember my mentor telling me, no, your CV cannot be more than 3.5 pages. Like, how? So Oremeyi calls it value in you. I call it content. That's the first thing. And for you have to have that value of content. I think the beginning is to work hard and well. Let me just start. There were so many aha moments at the beginning. First of all, build yourself. Don't work for the cameras. I think that's something I need to chip in here, because these days, because of brand and visibility, everybody is working, they'll do small work and put it on Facebook, Instagram, up and down. No, please work hard and well. Because you know what? I actually believe in your work speaks for you. Your work speaks, if you work well, the well here is impactful, positively impacting. If you work well, that work has already started speaking. Now your brand is already forming. Now your visibility is already starting without your knowing it. So it's good to work. But what is the feedback? It's not, what is the impact of that work you've done? I mean, some people would write a piece of work or be in a company or do an assignment or a task, and you can see their signature on it. In fact, when they mention your name, oh, you're the one that did this. I know her now. I know her right from school. I know her since her early days when she was still on Moshe. Do you understand? So work hard and well. I think for me, I discovered, or rather it was emphasized when we're doing the very first step, identifying your value. I think that's the very first step in the course. Identify your professional value and skills. That was what I discovered. It was the first aha moment, because if I didn't have what to write, what will I even say my brand is now? Okay, I didn't do well here. I didn't work well here. I didn't do well. I didn't work well here. So, well, okay, next time I now try to redress the mistake. So first part, the foundation is make it solid, super solid. And then you can start to build your skyscraper.
Amazing. Amazing, Maureen. Amazing. Okay. So we've talked about biggest takeaways. We've talked about why you joined the program. Let's talk about results. Because at the end of the day, that's the cocoa, right? That's the cocoa. So Maureen, what were some of your biggest results from the program?
You know, one of my aha moments was also the huge benefits of networks and networking. You know, they even taught me networking when I did my MBA some 10 years ago in Durham Business School. I remember one day they brought one woman. I have to even find out if that company still, someone taught us about networking. What is all this networking again? That gave us assignments and all that. And I'm like, what are they talking about? They're just telling us the same thing that everyone is now emphasizing more and more. That really your network is your net worth. And that deeper understanding of networks and networking had actually started from the course I told you, you know, 2 years, the board mentoring program. And so my tentacles were out and ready, you know, to look out for networks and networking opportunities that would propel me to where I needed to be. Probably that's why now this your feedback now affirms, you know, what I was doing, you know, networking. You know, I was now more confident reaching out to people. I wasn't shy. Is it confident? I think shy is the word. Some people are press shy. I am press shy. I'm camera shy and all that. But I'm an ambivert, so in between intro and extro. So that explains it. But I wasn't. And then you taught us very well how to also network properly on LinkedIn, and that works. And introduce yourself, drop a note, and all that. That was a good one.
So what were the results from the networking?
Results, yes. So those networks, those networking opportunities, first of all, even before I started the course, some opportunities had been coming my way through networks that I didn't take seriously. But in the course of these 2 courses I told you of, yours and the other one, I started taking them seriously. And today I'm an independent consultant with a South African and Singaporean firm. Okay, I'm a tribes member, amongst other things that I do through those networking opportunities that I now had to reconsider or look at, you know, in a more serious light. So the outcomes are those partnerships, those strategic collaborations, and the recent one, a board role with the Tanzanian company, with one of the participants in my cohort, which is just fantastic.
Amazing.
So that's one of the critical big things for me is the networks and the networking. Amazing. And then I've also learned to discern or, you know, find out the kind of networks that really help, you know, add value to you, that, you know, that you're comfortable and safe with, you know, not just to be there, you know, to just be, you know, just to have, but to really be useful to everyone.
Amazing, amazing. I know Maureen is being conservative in talking about the specific networking results, but just suffice to say, I think the key word there is the various international collaborations and partnerships you've been able to leverage through that. I think that's the key word there. But we'll move on. Okay, Oremeyi, do you want to share some of your results?
Yeah, so, okay. And thanks, Maureen, for helping start it off on that note. So I will say as well that the sustainable results are the ability to connect with the right people, which is networking. And you told us that networking was not just saying hello, it is showing value, continuing to, even when you make the connection, you continue to show value. So there's some people that I was already connected to, but had not reached out in a while. And reaching out is not just, hello, how is the weather? You know, we talked about value. So, for example, people I will reach out to and I will just say, oh, I read this article recently, or I'll refer to something happening that I know the person is in our space. So be it payments, be it fintech, or when I got into customer experience, I may just drop a note and say, oh, this is your quote I saw. I really liked it, spoke about this and that. And I mean, the results. Okay, so results 1. I was sitting, I just started customer experience. This year was my 2nd year. And then I get a mail from, in a conference, customer experience, with looking at payments and fintech, hosted in South Africa, of course, online. And they said, we've seen your profile. We like if you can help us moderate a panel. So I was the only Nigerian on that panel. I mean, a lot of South Africans, Kenyans, Tanzanians. I never met any of these people. I never. So they just said, we saw your profile and we reached out. So, I mean, last year, the number of speaking opportunities I got, I mean, I know between October and December after our course was like 3, I'm not exaggerating, like two times, that's in that space of 3 months, about 2 times, double what I'd gotten from January to October. Speaking opportunities, there's some I had to turn down because maybe they were clashing. And of course, it must be in line with your network strategies, not just everywhere. Come and speak on cement, yes. It's not, it's not like that now. But so that the ability to discern, as Maureen also used that word. Then recently, I mean, I did my MBA in Cambridge. And they reached out and they said, oh, we're looking for people to come on our alumni board. Honestly, I wouldn't have applied. So I just saw the application will be your name. Then I said, what value do you bring? I said, I started, I opened my workbook. Honestly, I opened my workbook. I opened it. I said, I have a workbook. I said, Glory's coaching. I have a folder. So I opened it and I got some sentences, and all that. And they called me. And bottom line is I'm on the Alumni Advisory Council for the George Business School at the University of Cambridge. And I mean, the only African in this cohort, they've not had an African in decades. So I mean, I know that the confidence, and again, Maureen used that word confidence. The confidence was, I mean, definitely has brought about some of these results and more to come, right? But I just want to have emphasize the first thing Maureen said which is do good work. It's really important. And because like when we're going through our profiles, I mean, there was a particular day that was on the hot seat. You guys, the hot seat when people critique what your work and all, of course, positive criticism, but honest criticism. And I was surprised. And you said you're short selling yourself, Remy. You did all these things. Wow, you did all these things. So like Maureen said, if there is no value in the first place, there's nothing to package. You cannot package empty container. Nothing. You must, so that value is important. Building, delivering value. It may take time, but it's worth it at the end of the day.
Amazing. I love that. I love how you say you went back to your workbook. Those workbooks that people wanted to kill me for, that these workbooks, Glory, this workbook, like look at it now, see what it's bringing. I love it. I was talking to somebody earlier today and the person was saying, their issue with LinkedIn is confidence. And I said to them, when I started coaching, I was actually a self-love and confidence coach. So when I teach LinkedIn visibility, the underlying layer is confidence. So when people always give me feedback about how their confidence grew, how they got higher awareness of their value and all of that, I understand why. It's because that's how the course is created. So amazing. I'm glad to hear that. So we're going to start wrapping up now. I have 2 more questions. And guys, if you have questions, please ask. My first question is, I remember FFL said one day that somebody told her, "Are you crazy? You're paying this amount to learn about LinkedIn. Don't you know that's a ticket to London?" Another person told me her husband said, "I don't understand. Why are they charging this much?" So I just want to ask you guys, was it value for money?
Definitely.
I'll start with you.
Definitely. And please, the mistake people make, and I think maybe it's our culture here in Nigeria where the education they have these days is not of much value. And that's why someone will think a little more than ~250,000 is too much to pay for your brand and visibility. Oh, come on, please don't believe them. Because you will close your eyes and spend that, I know, on a shrebi or jewelry or something without blinking. It's much more than that 250,000. Much more than that. Because even today, just to make sure my thinking was right, I brought out my workbook again. I said, okay, let me even see if the things I've put down are in line. And I use the things I've learned every day. I use them even beyond my network and my networking. It's not going to expire. There's no expiry date of the learning. You understand? There's no expiry date of the learning. So whatever you paid, I don't know how much you guys paid in now, you get the value every day. For obvious reasons, I was conservative about the collaborations, strategic collaborations and speaking engagements. Obviously, some of those, first of all, I'm not a talky person, I'm not a showy person, very far from it. And then some of them, like I have a speaking engagement tomorrow with my alma mater, Durham Business School. I'll be speaking to MSc students, but I'd rather wait until that is done and then publish it on LinkedIn. And I think maybe the first alumnus speak to them in MSc.
Amazing.
Entrepreneurship, yes. And there's another UK university that has got me on their guest speaker list. So I'm just waiting to see when the finalists, amongst other opportunities.
Amazing. So international.
Yeah.
Exactly. International visibility.
They've taken lights my end too, but they'll
sorry, they brought the lights here to take. They took my light to take from your own side. So yeah, I'm seeing people comment. So yes, when Maureen did the course, it was 250,000. I think when Oremeyi did it, it had gone up to 350, and now it's 580. So yes, the cost has gone up. When I started teaching LinkedIn visibility, I used to charge 100,000. So yes, the price has gone up. Yes. Okay, Oremeyi, do you want to say, is it value for money when you pay?
Okay. So as you know, honestly, I mean, at first you'll be saying 350K. Hey, you know, I said never. I said this small glory that I know wants to call. I said, me, I will not pay you. I will read this LinkedIn. But honestly, if you look at it, when you are investing in something, you have to know what you want to get out of it. Exactly. Sometimes what you are paying for is someone has taken time to study. If you want to research and do the study yourself, it's possible it's going to take you X number of months or years. That in itself is an investment. So either you invest your money or invest your time. Now you need to be committed. Now, as long as you are committed to get the full value, like when Maureen said she goes through her workbooks, I had started, but not as committed. But in fact, after Maureen's testimonial, I'm inspired to put it in my calendar and be going through. So it is value for money, but I know a lot of people will start with skepticism, like, am I sure? Am I sure? But when you think of the value of the economy now, you think of cost of human hair. Yes,
Thank you.
Handbag, a lot of things. It's just for you to say, I will not buy this, and that, you know. And if you go in for that course with the mindset, I'm going to get the full value, you will. And at the end of the day, you will see that. So you might not feel it justified at the beginning. You have your doubts. A lot of things we buy, we have our doubts, you know. But when you want to go higher, the stakes are high. So you just make up your mind and say, let me go for this. And, you know, worst case scenario, we'll go and find Gloria and kidnap her. But it's not going to happen because you will get value. You will get value, but you must be ready to work out the value. The value is not magic. Be ready to work it out, but you have a good partner and you are in a good place. So like Maureen said, education, there's nothing like free education. Even in America, the free university, Stanford is expensive, Harvard, there's a reason. Yeah, in the UK as well. Education is an investment.
Amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. Okay, so I have two questions. Somebody says, can an entry-level professional take the course? I don't think that the course is for entry-level professionals the way it is. You would have to have built some sort of significant expertise in your sector before you can take the course. So I wouldn't advise that. Then somebody has said, must you be on LinkedIn Premium? I always answer that question. I'll answer that to you personally. Okay, so final question. Advice for people who are sitting on the fence. And you know what? Is when I have these inspirational webinars that I really know what people are thinking about me before they paid for the course. Remy said, that's not me, pay Glory this amount of money. It's not possible. Oh dear. Okay, no. So for people that are on the fence, and the truth about this, I know that it's an expense. I'm not taking that lightly at all. But I also think the way I've priced it, I think it's value for money. And I'm happy that both of you say the same as well. So, but what is your advice for people who are sitting on the fence, who are like, I'm not sure, should I not, should I postpone? Because there are people that have been seeing this course from when it was 100,000 naira, when it was 250, when it became 350, when it became 400, now it is 580, and they are still looking at it. So what do you say to those people that are on the fence? Should they take the plunge, and why should they take the plunge?
You want me to go first?
Yes, please, Maureen.
For people who are on the fence and they are professional people or women, I don't think they want it bad enough. So if you don't want something bad enough, you're not ready. If you're ready, I had heard about Dr. Glory a few years back, but then my mentor during a program was like, you need to do something about your branding and visibility because you cannot move ahead without that compliment as well. And I said, who? I'm going to speak to Dr. Glory and get you on the course. I don't know, she charged me XYZ. I don't know what she's charging now, but I think this and that. It was not easy to get her and all that. And I was like, okay, how much? Okay, how can, it wasn't easy financially at that time. Like I said, you know, I was running a course and then I wanted to do Dr. But you know, I knew what I wanted. You know, it's when you, it's like coming to a crossroad and you either go northwest. You don't need it yet. But if you're still look at this, you've been looking at the cost, it was 100,000 naira, now it's 580,000 as I'm seeing in the chat. What are you waiting for? Because that means you really don't want to progress in your career. But if you want to progress in whatever, why don't you just sign up? Sign up. I'm sure you can discuss payment terms with her. I hope she'll be generous to accept.
Yes, I have
flexible payment terms. Good. And again, education is a gift you give yourself. Education, good education is a gift you give yourself. Nobody's yours. And they're not just paying for the course, be active in the course. So I know that is making us sit on the fence because I know people all over the world are, you know, itching to go learn something and improve themselves. So please go for it, except if you're not ready. That means you're not ready. But if you are sitting fence, I think you should just quickly go for it before it gets to 1 million naira.
Thank you. Oremeyi, what about you?
Yeah, so my advice is almost same as Maureen's, which is, what do you want to achieve? Yeah, and there may be many routes to get there. If you feel you can sit on your own and do it, you can try. You know, so it's important for you to don't let someone convince you. You know, it's just any education, an MBA. I have a friend doing a PhD. She says she always asks who sent me. But when she remembers her motivation, she stays on track. Or if it was someone that had to cajole her, she would have been regretting, right?
Exactly.
So what do you want? Why do you want to get on the course? What do you want to get out of it? What are your other options? For me, I needed speed. I'm very busy. So I knew I didn't have time to be reading I needed. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you clearly.
Now you've gone off.
Oh, I think she's gone off. Okay. So I'm going to just, I'm sure she'll come back on. While we're waiting for her, please, can you share, if you people want to set up calls, please, can you share the link to set up a call with me? Please, this link for the call is for people who are interested in signing up for the program. I have a high call volume request, and I'm only able to take right now, from now till mid-February, people who are interested in joining the course. Please, if you know that you're not really interested in joining the course now, please, you can book at another time. But right now it's for people who are ready to invest time and financial resources into taking the course. So the link is there for you. Okay, so I put the link there. I'm just reading comments. That's 3 to 5 years of expertise fitting. I know I said, please arrange a call with me so we can discuss. Is it possible to pay for the online course only and then pay for the group coaching program as another cohort? Yes, it is. You just pay the difference between the two when you're ready to join. Okay, I want to advise people who come into your program should first go to Udemy to learn how to write articles before engaging in Glory, because they won't be frustrated after paying that amount. It's quite a huge amount, I must say. Thanks, Dr. Sovereign, for saying that. So on the program, what we actually do is you write your articles and you put it in the group. And on the group, I actually personally edit your articles for you. Dr. Sovereign, you would be able to say that I have actually edited your heart article for you. and Maureen and Oremeyi, both of you will be able to say that I actually give individual feedback on everybody's article before it is published publicly. Maureen, please, can you, Maureen and Oremeyi, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Yes. Yeah, so
yes,
was I able to give individual, do I give individual feedback on everybody's?
Absolutely.
Thank you for saying that. Oremeyi, I know that you are back in. Can you hear us? Maybe she's struggling with her internet. Okay, so I'll just keep answering. If there are any questions, we're going to be wrapping up now. I can testify the course is worth it. V's iPhone. I don't know who V is. V, what's your name? I don't know who V is. Oh, you can't unmute. Okay, let me unmute you. Let me find you and unmute you. Tell me if you can find her before me. Please help me do that. I've been checking. Okay, I've seen her. Are you able to unmute now? So I made you a co-host so that if you have any issues, you should be able to unmute now as a co-host. Okay, while we're waiting for that, let me see if there are any other comments. Okay. Oh, Vona. Vona, hi, Vona. So Vona was the person that said she can testify the course is worth it. Amazing. Thanks, Vona. How does the course support personal branding? How does the course support personal branding? Okay, so personal branding is the art of intentionally communicating your value and expertise, right? How you actually do that, communicating your value, your expertise, and your experience. What I do on the course is teach you how to do that, right? I teach you how to do that. So the first thing we're going to do on the course, like Maureen said, is identify your professional value and your skills. Then I show you how to network, right? How to network on LinkedIn, show you how to build your personalized networking strategy. After that, I then show you how to create content on LinkedIn. And every week, you're going to be sharing content on LinkedIn. Every week, you have content assignments, which you put in our private LinkedIn group. I then edit the articles for you. So I'll tell you, oh, add this, do that. I'll give you feedback on the articles. Other people on the program also give you feedback. And until I say good to go, you don't publish the articles. So until it's good enough to show publicly, you don't publish the articles. So hopefully that helps you to build your personal brand because you are writing content around your expertise. You are demonstrating your expertise. You're connecting with the right people who should know about you. So I hope that answers your question. Oremeyi, yes, Oremeyi is back. Oremeyi, you are saying, yes. So do you want to just quickly wrap up?
Yeah. So what I mean, summary of what I was saying was, it's we're talking of, is it what if you're sitting on the fence, right? I was like, if you know what you want to do, I think I ended by saying education is an investment, right? So I mean, and so that's it.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you. Sorry, I wanted this to be 45 minutes and we've gone over time. So, and I don't want to hold, I know these ladies are busy, they are busy women. So I don't want to keep them for longer than possible. So I'm going to let both of you, if you need to go, please feel free. I think you've answered all the questions that I have, and there doesn't seem to be any more questions for both of you. But I want to say thank you so much. I am so proud of all the strides you're making in your careers. And I know that the LinkedIn visibility was a portion of that, but you took the lessons and you own your own results because you have been doing the work. And so I applaud you. And I'm so honored that you will come here and share your experience with other women and publicly identify. You know, it's one thing to do a course, but not everybody wants to tell people that this is where I learned this thing I'm doing. No. So I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that you will come and do this here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Maureen, really nice meeting you. I'll reach out.
Yes, I will too. Take care.
Take care. Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone. Good night.
Bye, everyone. Bye.
Okay. Bye, everyone. So if you have any questions, I'm here. Does anybody have any questions on the course? So Palumi has very kindly put 2 links, the link to find out more about the program and the a 20-minute call, a link to book a 20-minute call with me. Now that 20-minute call is for people who are interested in paying and being able to invest time as well in the course, because the course does take some time, right? So please, if you are not ready for that yet, please don't book a call. The call is not a coaching call. I won't give you tips on how to improve your LinkedIn. It's only for people who are interested in the program, right? I give a lot of free resources so you can use that. There was somebody that said, do I need to pay for premium? What I advise people to do is get the free premium option for now, 30 days free, and see if it does anything for you. If there's value in it, you can keep doing it. But on my course, you don't need to be on premium to be on my course. Okay. Hope that NK, the cost is $1,000 or 580,000 naira. Any other questions? So I can answer one more question before I close. Any other question? Was this useful? So just tell me in the chat, was this useful to you? If you're thinking about the course, but you're still on the fence, what are your issues? You can unmute yourself. You can just raise your hand, I'll unmute you if you have a question. Oh, okay, Tony says booked a call, fantastic. Dr. Gbonju, do you want to say something? Quite useful, fantastic. Okay, Fumla, yes, Fumla was my online only course participant. And she says, even for online only, you edited all my articles. I did online only and got value for money. I was committed and dedicated. She was very committed and dedicated, very. Will my articles be edited when I sign up for your course, for your online course? So I'm not going to write the articles for you. I will make suggestions on how to edit it. But if you think you just write something, a few lines and send it to me to edit, that's not going to happen. Because at the end of the day, it is your thought leadership. So what you know about your sector, I will improve on it. So say, oh, I don't think this works. Why don't you change the first sentence? Why don't you do that? I will do that for you. But to sit down and rewrite your article, I won't. Okay, so hope that's clear. Okay. Oyindamola, I think you're the one that said you're just starting out in your career. I don't think it's a right fit for you if you're just starting out in your career. All right. Any other questions before I close? Any other questions? Okay, if there are no other questions, let me let you guys go. Thank you for attending. And looking forward to welcoming as many of you on the program as possible. Thank you. Bye. Bye, everyone. Bye.
Thank you, Glory. Good evening. Thank you. Bye. How are you? Sorry I came late.
No, it's fine. It's always good to see you, Fumilayo.
Yes, thank you. Bye-bye. Yes.